Ok.
Fondatorului, zestratului, distrugător, transcendental, celui care a trecut peste toate, distrugătorului de foc, celui perfect de vedere, ființei trezite total, perfect în cunoaștere și cu o conduită bună, sugata, cunoscător al lumii, supremului ghid al oamenilor pentru a fi îmblânziți, profesorului zeilor și al oamenilor, în fața ta cel trezit cu adevărat, distrugător, transcendental, ancestral, glorios învingător, director, intanușator, mă prostănesc pentru ofrande și îmi găsesc refugiul. Fondatorul, zestratului, distrugătorul transcendental, celul care a fost peste toate, distrugătorul de foc, celui perfect de neîntreg, trezite total, perfect în cunoaștere și cu o conduită bună, sugata, cunoscător al lumii, supremului ghid al oamenilor pentru a fi îmblânziți, profesorului zeilor și al oamenilor. Învață ta cel trezit cu adevărat, distrugător, transcendental, ancestral, glorios, învingător, director, intanușator, mă prostănesc pentru ofrande și îmi găsesc refugiul. Fondatorul zestratului, distrugător transcendental, celui care a trecut peste toate, distrugătorul de foc, celui perfect de întreg, ființei trezite total, perfect în cunoaștere și cu o conduită bună, sugata, cunoscător al lumii, perfect, supremului ghid al oamenilor, pentru a fi îmblânziți, profesorul zeilor și al oamenilor, în fața ta cel trezit cu adevărat, distrugător transcendental, ancestral, glorios, învingător, director, intanușator, stăjesc ți-ar cu ofrande și îmi găsesc refugiul. Ali Bhagavati Krishna Paramita Fideasul, Iaci scrise pentru tine înțelepciune. Iată ce am auzit că s-a întâmplat odată. Bhagavat să dea pe vârful muntele de la mulțime de călugări și o mulțime de bodhisattva. În timpul acela, Bhagavat era aprofundat în concentrarea categoriilor de fenomene numite profunda percepție. În același timp și bodhisattva Mahasala Arya Variteshvara putea spre practica profundei perfecțiunii a înțelepciunii și a văzut că cele 5 adevărate sunt de asemenea coade de natură inerentă. După care, prin puterea lui Buddha, venerabil și Ariputra, a spus lui Bodhisattva Mahasala Arya Variteshvara. Cum ar trebui să se antreneze osul și oaliul care vrea să se angajeze în practica profundei înțelepciunii și perfecțiunii? După ce a spus asta, Bodhisattva Mahasala Arya Variteshvara i-a răspuns venerabil și Ariputra. Și Ariputra, orice ființă aplicat ființă care își dorește să se angajeze în practica profundei înțelepciunii și perfecțiunii, trebuie să privească lucrurile când acestea vor ocorești și părămânești. Cele 5 adevărate sunt de asemenea coamă prin natura lor inerentă. Forma este Fiului, este forma de Lui, fără de formă și forma lui fără de Lui. În același fel, segmentele de scriptură au trebuit să spună și cunoștințele scripturii. În același fel, toate fenomenele sunt vii de fel caracteristici, nu sunt produse, nu se sfârșesc, nu sunt colorite și nu sunt imaculate, nu sunt deficitate și nu sunt complete. Prin urmare, și Ariputra, nu există formă, sentimente, discriminare, factori proporționali, conștiințe, scopul eliminat, schimbă corpul, fără formă vizibilă, sunetele mirosul, fără elemente ale ochiului și așa mai departe, prin existența elementelor minții și ale conștiinței mentale, fără ignoranță și extindere ignoranței și toate acestea prin anarhie, furnăm răbdările și moarte și părinții a răbdării și a morții. De asemenea, acolo nu există suferință, rigiditare sau moarte, fără înțelepciune țărată, fără realizări și fără de realizări. Prin urmare, și Ariputra putea folosi înțelepciune Bodhisattva și se bazează pe asta și în îmbunătățirea înțelepciunii cu o minte desfășurată și suferință. Trecând complet dincolo de greșelile arhitectului final cu toți lucrași care au existat în cele 3 timpuri, bazându-se pe perfecțiunea înțelepciunii sau dezvoltarea întregului la cel mai înalt nivel la perfecta iluminare. Oricum trebuie să știți că noaptea perfecțiunii înțelepciunii este noaptea cunoașterii supreme, cea mai nemăsurată noapte, noaptea care alină toate suferințele cunoscute ca fiind noaptea adevărului fără de greșeală. Noaptea perfecțiunii înțelepciunii este proclamată de ea ca omul, steaua care răcătoare sau soarele gloriei. În felul acesta, și Ariputra poate Bodhisattva Mahasala să se antreneze în profunda perfecțiune a înțelepciunii. Apoi Bhagavata ordine așa concentrare și a pe Bodhisattva Mahasala Arya Variteshvara spunând: Bine ai trăit, fiul al lumii, așa este, așa stau lucrurile. Trebuie practicată profunda perfecțiune a înțelepciunii, așa cum a indicat. Tata cântă și se bucură de asta. După ce Bhagavan a rostit acestea, venerabil și Ariputra, Bodhisattva Mahasala Arya Variteshvara și toți cei prezenți din suita lor, inclusiv zei lumești, oamenii, Asura și Chandara, și au fost înfruntați la o plăcere și au aplaudat discursul lui Bhagavan. Aceasta este completa Arya Bhagavati Krishna Paramita Fideasul. Eu, împreună cu toate ființele simțitoare care mă înconjoară, mergem să ne refugiem la Buddha, Dharma și Sangha, ne prosternăm, reținem Doamne Krishna Paramita înțelepciunii transcendentale, care este înconjurată de toți copiii și de tot ansamblul de Buddha și Bodhisattva și din cele 10 direcții. Prin prosternările aduse tuturor, fie că aceste lumi ale adevărului să fie realizate. În trecut, regele de Valinca a îndepărtat toate ființele demonice, reflectând la securitatea profundă a înțelepciunii transcendentale și recitând zilnic profundele cuvinte. În același fel, reflectez și eu la profundul înțeles al măreții mame, prașnă, paramintea și recit zilnic profundele sale cuvinte. Fie ca toate bolile, posedările demonice, condițiile grele, toate direcționările negative care se produc din cauza karmei trecute și a condițiilor imediate să fie dezintegrate. Fie ca ele să devină inexistente. Fie ca pacea să se restabilească. Mă prosternez adunând de achin cu cele trei ceafe care se rășuiesc în Sfânta Uniune care folosește spațiul. Prin puterea clairvoinței voastre și a emanațiilor miraculoase vreau să vă îndreptați atenția de cei care practică, așa cum o mamă are grijă de copilul ei. Prin învățătura celor trei cele prețioase care conțin puterea adevărului, fie ca obstacolele interne și externe să fie transformate, fie ca obstacolele să fie dezintegrate, fie ca obstacolele să fie pacificate, fie ca toate forțele negative care se opun darme să fie complet pacificate, fie ca foartele celor omului de obstacole să fie pacificate, fie ca noi să nu avem probleme sau condiții care să ne doboare atunci când suntem pe calea darmei, fie ca să avem numai bucurii în acord cu darma, fie ca să avem numai întâmplări de bun augur și perfecta fericire chiar aici și chiar acum. Magnificent și prețios guru de rădăcină, te rog să te așezi pe lotusul și pe mână de pe coloană de creștetului, vreau să mă ghidesc marea ta bunătate și să-mi acorzi realizările corpului, orbirii și muzicale sfinte. Fondatorul lui Bhagavan, incomparabilul lui Gita, invincibilul lui Bhagavan Maitreya, regentul învingătorilor, lui Arya Sangha, a cărui venire a fost profețită de către învingător, vouă celor trei Buddha și Bodhisattva și lor mi adresez cele, rugămințile. Vasubhadra, coloana ornamentală a acestei linii a învățatelor, Arya Vimutisena, cel care a găsit calea de mic, Vimutisena Gomin, numit fondator al credinței nestrămutate, vouă celor trei care deschideți ochii lumii mi adresez rugămințile. Paramasena, care ai realizări incredibile și exaltante, Vinita Sena, cel care și-a așezat mintea în calea profundă, Vairuceană și marea măreției potrivite nesfârșite, vouă celor trei prieteni ai ființelor miraculoase mi adresez rugămințile. Haribarea, care a compus vaste tratate supreme în căia prașnic paraminte, acesta al păstrător al tuturor discuțiilor învingătorilor, Rarna Sena, care îngrijește și iubire toate ființele, vouă celor trei suverane ai ființelor sfântitoare mi adresez rugămințile. Suvarma Tripa, care a realizat dodicita mintea sa sfântă, Atisha, care susține tradiția marului vehicul, prețiosul Tom cu acel care clarifică calea noului, vouă celor trei sări că învățăturii mi adresez rugămințile. Lui Bhagavan Buddha, căpetenia șarpeșilor, ghid suprem de neagarată ne-a explicat vacuitarea, manjul și unitatea tuturor Buddha-șilor înțelepciuni infinite, supremul Mirare Nagarjuna, care a văzut înțelesul profund, vouă celor trei ornamentale corane celor învățați mi adresez rugămințile. Shanda Kirti, cel care a clarificat intenția ariașilor, bătrânul Vidya Kokila, cel din fiu inteligent, tânărul Vidya Kokila, fiul învingătorilor, vouă celor trei inteligențe puternice mi adresez rugămințile. Lui Atisha, celui care a văzut interdependența așa cum este ea, celui care a păstrat tradiția marului vehicul, prețiosul Tom care a clarificat calea nobilă, vouă celor două ornamente ale acestei lumii mi adresez rugămințile. Protector al ființelor și învățăturii intermul zăpezilor, care face mai clară calea unificatoare dintre vacuitate și compasiunea, retenții în viață, păstrătura lor ustrii mi adresez rugămințile. Fie ca toate năzuințele dorințelor tale să se îndeplinească de dată. Celor care văd toate vastele învățături suprimilor deschizători de drumuri care eliberează pe cei norocoși, care utilizează mijloace exclusive de a veni de iubire, vouă prietenilor spirituale iluminați în adresez rugămințile. Fie ca niciodată, fără nici măcar o secundă, să nu apară erezia în mintea mea față de acțiunile prețesului guru. Fie ca mereu să văd toate acțiunile sale ca fiind guru. În această devoțiune, fie ca să primesc binecuvântările gurului în inima mea. Sashi, Jeki, Juishi, Metrotam, Rizalni, Shinida, Kempadi, Sange, Shendo, Nide, Uwari, Rogunanda, Shinla, Chopasho,
Enamki Choku Kawa Kente Tinteni Shida Sambe Duje Zema Sabge Choke Chapa Vartu Guru Nana. Sanchu Patu Tane Kyasa Sage Jinso Gipe Sonamge Dola Penje Sange Duba.
Mers în caut refugiu să nu-și voi atinge luminarea la Buddha, Dharma și suprema adunare, prin metodele pe care le creez, ascultând Dharma, fie ca străin în Buddha pentru a fi de folos tuturor ființelor simțitoare. Mers în caut refugiu pentru a atinge luminarea la Buddha, Dharma și suprema adunare, prin meritele pe care le creez, ascultând Dharma, fie ca străin în Buddha pentru a fi de folos tuturor ființelor. Mers să caut refugiu pentru a atinge luminarea la Buddha, Dharma și suprema adunare, prin meritele pe care le creez, ascultând Dharma, fie ca străin în Buddha pentru a fi de folos tuturor ființelor. Fie ca toate ființele să aibă parte de fericire și de cauzele fericirii, fie ca toate ființele să fie libere de suferințe și de cauzele suferințelor, fie ca toate ființele să fie separate de bucuria cea care este sobre întâlnire, fie ca toate ființele să iasă pe calea de victorii pentru de atașament și totul.
So maybe we can start with the like motivations, intentions. Again, try to keep yourself comfortable and relaxed. And breathe naturally and keep your focus of mind on the breath, watching it mindfully and being aware that you are breathing in when you breathe in, being aware you are breathing out when you are breathing out. Simply just watching mindfully and being aware of the breath. Once your mind is settled down, quiet, try to think and contemplate that how fortunate and lucky we are to have this precious human life, met the Dharma, and have interest in Dharma, which is not easy and rare. And how fortunate and lucky we are still to be alive today. Therefore, whatever there's a remaining of my lifespan, how many ever years there is more, I have to make it more meaningful and with a higher and greater purpose. And there's nothing more higher and greater purpose to really put our effort into the practice of Dharma. Therefore, I'm going to engage in the practice of Dharma as much as possible. Practice of Dharma means training our mind, transforming our mind. And with that transformed mind, trying to be help and benefit as much as possible, directly, indirectly. And even when you cannot be helped, at least we try to avoid creating any more pain and suffering to others. And that is the essence of the Dharma. And there are so many different ways that we can be helpful and beneficial. But the greatest help and benefit will be if we can help them to overcome their own afflictive emotions, the delusions, and the karma, which are the root of all their problems and sufferings. And to be able to help effectively with our own direct experience, we ourselves need to achieve fully enlightened state. Therefore, I'm going to engage in a practice to actualize that fully awakened state. So we can help to liberate all sentient beings from all their suffering and cause of suffering, and help them to guide to fully ultimate happiness of fully enlightened state. And in order to achieve that fully enlightened state, we must actualize all the path within our mind stream, all the spiritual realizations, experiences. And for that we need to contemplate, meditate, practice. for that we need to continue to study, learn here. Therefore, that's why we have come here. Okay. Yesterday we talked about little bit of Tara in general, and then among different forms of the Tara, we talked about 21 Tara. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, even though there are so many different Taras with different forms, but in essence, they all are one. It is like one persons who play different roles in theater or in movies according to the need of the character, the play. Even though the person can sometimes play as character as a good guy, bad guy, gray guy, or young, old, all kind of things, different character, but it's the same persons, and different character according to the need of the play, the movie. Or in another example we can take is like same ice cream, but different flavors, different size, different shape, according to the need of different people's, some like small, some like bigger, some like particular shapes, particular color, some like particular taste. So you add a little bit and it becomes different, but in essence, they all are the ice cream, same ice cream. So it's a different form because of different need of different sentient beings manifesting, but in essence it's the same. And in terms of the 21 Tara, we talk about their different traditions according to the Mahasiddhi Suryagupta, and as I mentioned yesterday, it is in the story. It says, he was a practitioner and he was a devotee of the Tara before, and he had a leprosy, So when he has leprosy, then there's a temple, Tara temple, and close by the Tara temple, he built a small hut to do a kind of retreat practice, and Tara praying and practice related with Tara, and after more than 3 months, then he saw Tara, Tara appear, vision, and then he was cured of his leprosy, of course then his faith and devotion grow even more stronger, and then he started to have many different visions and dreams and visions of Tara, and receiving teaching and so forth. So then he composes 21 Tara praises and many other practices on Taras. And and then that was been kind of passed to his disciples, and the lineage is still unbroken. There is that. Also, it is mentioned Tara was a main deity of Adisha himself. Again, Adisha made a lot of decisions, important decisions, based on Tara's advice. It is mentioned that when he was requested to come to Tibet to teach, he wasn't young. He was already quite and then of course, going from the very low place to such a high mountains, different cultures, different language, totally different. Even though he was requested so many times, he wasn't so sure how beneficial it would be, how much beneficial it could be. And in India, he was in Vikramshila, one of the greatest monastic learning university or institutions. After Nalanda, Vikramshila is known, and he was already kind of like the abbot or one of the greatest teachers at that time. They also needed him there. But he consulted Tara, what will be more beneficial. And the Tara said, that if we go to Tibet, it will be more beneficial, but his lifespan will be reduced. He will live less. If he stay in India, he will live longer, but in terms of benefiting the Dharma, benefiting the sentient beings, it will be more beneficial to go to the Tibet. And based on that advice, he went to Tibet, and it really did help and benefited extremely great. Not only the disciple at that time continue to benefit and help now, and it will. So again, Tara was also main deity of Adishas. Okay, so I think maybe so yesterday I think we finished 12 or 13? 12, yeah. I think we're on 13, yeah. Yeah, I think we finished 12 and we're on the 13 one. And 13 one is, she who blesses like a fire. So then, here the prayer says homage. She Mrit bless like. What is the literal translations? That one doesn't have English translation, yeah?
English is
I think.
only Tibetan.
Yeah, I'm looking for the English translations. And the translation that I have here is chanting version. Sometimes is kind of shorter. So I'm looking for the maybe yesterday there was the other book. This one has the little yeah, it has the translation looks very different. Okay. Homage to Tara who dwell within the blazing garland that resembled the fire at the end of old age, surrounded by joy. You sit in with your right leg extended and left withdrawn, completely destroying all the mass of enemies. So here is a Tara that is surrounded by a blazing of a fire. It is like the blazing of fire of the wisdom. Okay, it's the blazing of the fire of the wisdom, and the fire is such strong. It's like the fire at the aeon ending fire. So we talk about the world, the kalpa or aeons of creating the world, and then there is the aeons of abiding the world, and then there's aeons of disintegrating, coming to the end. And when the world comes to the end, there's a mentioning of the world coming to an end by the sometime by the element of the fire, sometime by the element of water, sometime by element of earth, element of winds. And when the world comes to the end with the fire, it is mentioned, like the heat is so strong, it's like heat of 7 sun. The heat is so that it kind of consume everything, it kind of destroy everything. So that is the most powerful kind of the fire we think of. So that is giving an example. So the wisdom blazing fire that is surrounded the Tara, this Tara, is that powerful fire, like that fire. Okay. And in terms of her posture, right, right leg, stretch, left bend, again, as we mentioned yesterday, representing the wisdom and compassions, and also stretching. Stretching is compassion, bending is wisdom, representing yesterday we talked. And also stretching means that she is ready to help any times when it's needed. Joy surrounds you, and Tara has so much joyfulness, delightfulness to turn the wheel of Dharma and to help to lead the sentient beings in the path, in the right path. And so there is so much joy in that. And that this Tara has, the power, troops of enemies destroying, like the power to destroy, all the enemy, to destroy the troops of, or the mass or troop of enemies, which means not one but countless, many enemies. Troop means many troops or mass of the enemies. She has the power to destroy. Again, we talk about the enemy about yesterday, internal enemy, the delusions, and then external enemies. That is the reflections or manifestation of that inner enemy, Okay. So here it says, this Tara destroy the enemies and protect from the obstacles. So removing the obstacles, especially obstacle to practice the Dhamma. And the 14 is she who is frowning wrathfully. So homage to whom? To this particular Tara. She who struck the ground with her palm and with her feet beats it, Scrolling with the letter Hum, the 7 levels she does conquer. So, when she beats or strike the ground with her palm and the feet beating it, and then at the center of the palm and the feet, there's a Hum syllable, Hum letter. From that Hum, rays of fires, arises, and then kind of it destroys and subdue the beings of the 7 levels. The 7 level, it talk about under the ground. It talk about 7 levels, and within that, different beings in those, such as Naga, and spirit, and other form of beings, And so, Lord of the Dead, all of that. So she's able to, through that, her beatings of her feet and palm, with that wrathful actions. With that wrathful actions, she conquered them, she subdued them, and she transformed them. Okay, and so that is Tara. So here is controlling and subduing the interferences. She is the one who controls and subdues the interferences. 15. She of supreme peacefulness. So again, you can see among those 21 taras, some of them peaceful aspects, some of them are very wrathful aspects, some of them are semi-wrathful, not extremely wrathful, but so different kind of manifestation aspect because of the need of sentient beings to subdue the sentient beings, to transform the sentient beings, to lead the sentient beings in the right directions. Sometimes, you need peaceful method. Sometimes peaceful method doesn't work. Sometimes you need little forceful method. And sometimes you need even more forceful method. But regardless of what method you use, peaceful, forceful and very forceful, but the intention, motivation should be always true, bodhicitta, compassion. Here, of course, there's no doubt. Tara being enlightened, the intentions is always for the best of the bad persons. That whatever means or activities she show to subdue them is always for the best of them. So then, paying homage to whom the Tara, Supreme Peaceful One, okay, the 15th. Homage and Tara, who is happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace, nirvana, she endowed with the Om and Soha, destroyer of great evil. And she is happy because there is no suffering, free from sufferings. It's a virtuous because do not create any non-virtues. And there is no potential to create any non-virtues. Peaceful because it's free from all the delusions, afflictive emotions. She whose field is peace and nirvanas, and she always is in meditating on peaceful nirvana all the time. Always in meditative state. And she endowed with the because of that peace, nirvana, again, not only nirvana, non-abiding nirvana. Non-abiding nirvana means, not only is not abiding only in samsara, also is not abiding in a individual peaceful arhat state. So with that kind of dharmakaya peaceful wisdom, that she endow the sound of Om and Soha. Om at the beginning of the sound is the mantra Om Taritu Tarituri Soha. So Om is the beginning of the mantra, Soha is the end of the mantra. So 10 syllable mantra Om Taritu Tarituri Soha. That's the sound of the Tara. She endowed with the Om and Soha, destroyer of great evil. And those who recite, who rely on Tara as the deity, and the practitioner yogi who practice reciting the Tara mantra and with the proper practice, then the practitioner can be purified of all the negative karma, even the most heaviest negative karma, such as the 5 uninterrupted negative karma. The 5 uninterrupted negative karma are supposed to be one of the worst negative karma. Normally it's called uninterrupted because if you don't purify them, immediately after the next life, after you create that, then you experience that in the form of lower rebirth, and so that is uninterrupted by other lives. So that is one of the most strong negative karma, such as killing your father, mothers, arhat, and so forth. Creating division in the sanghas, and like that. So that is what, and not only the negative karma, as well as the cause of creating such negative karma, the delusions, attachment, anger, ignorance, and as well as the result of such negative karma, that is rebirth in lower rebirth. All of those great evil will be destroyed. Destroy of the great evil, so will be destroyed. So again, also this Tara is very powerful to purify those negative karma, and especially those strong negative karma, such as non-interrupting. So here is the speciality of these activities is purification of negative karma that cause sickness, spirit harm, and obstacles, and in a lower rebirth as well. And the 16th is next is the Tara who arises from the womb of intrinsic awareness. So homage to whom? This 16 Tara who arises from the womb of intrinsic awareness. Homage, she with a joy surrounded, tearing forth bodies as under, free with whom and knowledge mantra, arrangement of 10 letters. So again, Tara, she with a joy surrounded. Again, she has so much joy in helping and benefiting sentient beings by turning the wheel of Dharma, by showing the path, to liberate the sentient being from the suffering and cause of suffering, and to enlightenment, and also cheering the force bodies as under, the Tara who has this, who manifests in this form or aspect in order to destroy, all the external, internal enemies, and again, internal enemies, the delusion, the obscurations, external enemies are the manifestations or reflections of those internal enemies, and so those again, destroying completely. And then, Tara, as we mentioned, there is a peaceful form and wrathful form. In the peaceful form, at the heart of the Tara, then there is, Hung ladder at the heart of the Tara, and surrounded by the Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha, that ladder. Okay? And for the wrathful one, at the center, then there is this Om Nama Tare, and then surrounded by Namo Tare, Namo Hare, Hum Hare Soha, surrounding the Hum in the middle. So when you do the practice of this Tara, then you visualize, the mantra, garlands of mantras, surrounding the Hum cele, and from that, lights radiate, and then, through that light, subduing, transforming, and destroying all the enemies, external, internal enemies, all of that. So, and all the obstacles, and all the obstacles. And Tara, Tara who does that is this Tara, and when we practice, we try to visualize. We try to visualize, imagine, and do that, and then whatever obstacles, whatever, so yeah. Here is also say it's increased the wisdom as well. So that is where it's free from the Hum. Hum is the syllable at the heart of the Tara, whether it is the peaceful form or wrathful form. Then arranged by the 10 letters is on that Hum, then circling the for the peaceful Om Tare Tu Tare Turi Soha. And for the wrathful, the knowledge mantras, the mantras that just mentioned. Okay? So, yeah. Then 17 is the Tara, she who causes the three realms to tremble. So it is the wrathful. Homage, Tare, with the seed letter of the shape of syllable Hum, by foot stamping, shake the three walls, Miru, Mantra, and Vidya. So Tare is the swift and quick one, so which means the Tara, as we Tara is someone who is very swift activities, quick activities. So Tare, so then this Tara arises, wrathful Tara arises with a seed letter or seed syllable of the Hum. So then, normally most normally when we visualize that, when we Tara practice, especially green Tara, the Tara arises from thumb letters, thumb letters manifest into the arise as the Tara. Here, the Hung syllables, from the Hung syllables, and transform or manifest or arise in this wrathful Tara. So that is why with the sit letter, with the shape of syllable Hung, okay? And then this wrathful Tara, stamp her feet, very strongly, and shake the three walls, and the three walls, the three walls of Maru, Mandara, and Vidya, which and on the earth, above the earth, under the earth. So all the beings of those three worlds of this are being subdued and empowered by the Tara with that stamping of the that feet. So here's overcome and pacify all the maras and obstacles, shaking the three walls. Calms all the obstacles, no matter how overwhelming. So again, obstacles might be very big in certain times, or feel big at certain times, whatever those obstacles, feel like too big, too overwhelming. Again, if we rely on this Tara and we practice that, then it can help to overcome all the obstacles, no matter how big they feel, no matter how big they seem, no matter how powerful the obstacle it might seem or feel. Then the 18, she who neutralizes poisons. Homage holding in her hand the hair-marked moon of Deva-like form, with twice spoken Tare and Pe totally despoiling poisons. So in this Tara, she is holding a moon on her hand, and of course the moon, there is the mark in the moon there's a kind of mark or like a form like a hair in there. So twice spoken Tare, like in those 10 letter syllable or mantra of the Tara, Om Tare, Tu Tare, Tu Re So, there is Su Tare. Do you guess? Om Tare, Tu Tare, Tu Re So. That is why two spoken in that 10 syllable mantras. There's that's what it means with two spoken Tare. And Pe means normally the Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. So instead of Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Pe, you change in this, and through such then you, and with that then totally dispelling the poisons. So therefore again, when we have some danger of the poisonous, whether we are exposed to the poisons, whether by whatever, sometimes through the food, sometimes through the air, sometimes through water, sometimes through whatever poisonous when we have been kind of. Then again, if we rely on this Tara and recite the mantras and do the practice properly, then again it can help to relief of the poisons. Okay, but of course, in our modern time, if we can get medicine, we can just go and get it. If you are in a place where you cannot get medicine, it can be helpful. Sometimes even we get medicine, sometimes it doesn't work, It should be supposed to work, but sometimes it doesn't work, because of karmic things, And then again, you rely on the practice too. You rely on practice while you take the medicine, and you also rely on the practice. Then one, with the medicine, it deals with the immediate conditions, and then with the practice, it deals with the karmic cause of that problems. And so when we deal with both of them, then it becomes more beneficial, helpful, So we just say, I can just recite this mantra and I don't need to go and see doctor and take the medicine. That would be wrong, Or also to say, I can go to doctor and take the medicine, I don't need the practice. Also that would be wrong, We can always do the both together, So again, that is. Sometimes we tend to go one extreme, other extreme. Sometimes we think I don't need to rely on the medicines, doctors, these healings. I just rely on prayers.
We do the middle one. The middle one. The middle one. Like Buddha Shakyamuni said.
Oh yeah, the middle way, yeah.
Yes, middle way.
Yeah.
Middle means nothing.
Middle.
Middle means nothing. We must combine.
Okay.
And then sometime we just think, I just rely on the medicine or the doctor or treatment, I don't need any practice. That is also another extreme that we go sometimes. Feel like why I need a practice, Because if you see, a lot of time, same illness that has been cured by same medicine, same doctor, but certain individual cannot be cured. Yes, come back, or sometimes it's the same illness and they go to the doctor who have cured other persons, but they give same medicine or similar medicine and it doesn't work for them. It worked for someone else, but it didn't work for them. So sometimes there are, so also because sometimes it is not only the external image cause and condition, also there's a karmic involved, cause and condition involved. So through practice, we work with the karmic cause and conditions, and then, so that I just wanted to. So here is activities on neutralizing and healing or pacifying every poison, sickness, illness. So that is her. 19 is the one, she who alleviates all sufferings. Homage, she whom gods and their kings and the Kinara do honor. Amor in joyful splendor, she dispelled bad dream and conflict. So Tara, to whom all the gods and the king of gods, such as the Brahmas, or other ordinary gods, and non-humans, beings such as Kinara, they all honor, pay homage and vow down to the Tara, Mother Tara, and Tara is among all the joyful splendors, and she is able to dispel all the bad dream and the conflict. So again, when we have conflict or when we have bad dreams, when we have kind of what you call what the English word when you have this nightmares. The nightmares, bad dreams, bad omens, kind of bad kind of signs, or conflict, again, you will visualize this Tara, and recite the mantra of this Tara, and we do the practice correctly, properly, again, it will help to eliminate such nightmare, such bad dreams, bad omens, and conflict and so forth. So here it says, overcome dispute and suffering peacefully. So same whatever with each of those, as we mentioned, each of those Tara has a special activities, special functionings. It's a manifestations of Tara to cure or to help and to overcome a specific particular situations of the sentient beings and suffering of sentient beings. So whenever when we experience or when we encounter or when we face such circumstances, situation, experiences, then if we visualize that particular Tara related with that particular situations, and recite that Tara's mantras, and then we can visualize light, rays of light from the mantras, and the syllable letter and mantra of garlands of mantras, light and nectar flowing, and then kind of subduing, overcoming destroying whatever obstacles, whether it's the harm of the poison, whether it's the nightmare, whether it's some kind of harm from some unseen forces, human, inhumans, or the suffering of poverty, whatever that. So then we visualize cleansing, purifying, subduing, and transforming, and then so if we do then it can be beneficial and helpful. What is pestilence? What does that mean in English? Pestilence. Pestilence.
Where's the verse?
No, because this Tara is translated as she who removes pestilence.
Pestilence.
No
idea. I'm gonna Google it.
I think it's epidemic and contagious. But what does exactly that mean?
The dictionary says a disease.
Disease, okay.
Yeah, like an epidemic disease.
Oh, yeah.
Plague or...
Yeah. Okay, so this one, she who removed the pestilence or the disease. Homage, she whose two eyes bright with the radiance of sun and full moon, with the twice Hare and Tutare, she dispels severe contagions. So again, with two bright eyes, radiant with the sun, for the wrathful one, wrathful one with a kind of like fiery eyes, like a sun, Then for the peaceful Tara, is like the moon, the bright radiance, the two bright and radiance of the full moon, and which has a soothing kind of soothing, peaceful radiance, and kind of the radiance is one is kind of like a very sun blazing, wrathful, and for the peace is like the moon, soothing and peaceful, And in terms of the sound, the speech, with twice Hara and Tutare, So as we mentioned, for the wrathful one, the mantra is Om Nama Tare Namo Hare Hum Hare Soha. There's two Hare in that mantra, okay? Om Nama Tare Namo Hare Hum Hare Soha. So there is two Hare, okay? That is what is twice Hare. Yeah, that is for the wrathful one. Then Tutare, for the peaceful one, Om Tare Tutare Turi Soha. There's two Tutare. Okay, so that is what it means in that, with twice Hara and Tutare. And when you recite that with such peaceful and wrathful mantras, with that, by relying on that peaceful and loveful Tara, then she dispelled the severe contagious. So all the kind of disease, epidemics and contagious disease, So whether it's a plague, like COVID will be one of, for example, different virus. They don't. So again, when we have any kind of this kind of disease spreading, or when we are when we face such, then again we rely on the Tara, visualize the Tara, and recite the mantras and do all the practice correctly, right way. And then again, you visualize from the garland to the mantra, light and nectar flow, and then, cleansing, purifying, healing all the that disease, contagious disease, and the cause of all that disease, that negative karma, the delusions, being completely healed, cleansed, purified. So then the last 21. She who completely perfect all enlightened activities. Homage full of liberating power by the set of three natures, destroy the host of spirit, yakshas, and the rest corpses supreme Ture. So the practitioners, when they meditate this Tara, you visualize on the crown, white on the throat of the Tara, red R, and the heart is a blue Hum, So that is by the power of set of three nature, that is what here is meaning, So you visualize that, and then, and the Tara who has those three Vajra, and that has the power to eliminate and to destroy and to subdue, all the spirit, yakshas, and red corpse, and all the obstacles and negative energies, immediately, so such as, the aiding, spirit and so forth, yakshas, So here, is a pacifying, and accomplishing various kind of magical attainments, common and uncommon. Thus, these prayers with the root mantras and prostration thus are 21. So I think with that, we kind of complete the 21 Tara praises. And the commentary that I just kind of read was by Uljudama, one of the great master, Uljudama. So I think we will have a little break, and then when we come from break, then we'll see. Maybe we can take some questions, and then
transmission.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also for correcting mantras. If you have some mantra for correcting mantras, if I pronounce wrong a mantra, I think I know that is some mantra that you resolve the pronunciation. Like for example, after I finish my practice, I say Vajrasattva for correcting all the wrong pronunciation. Is there others also? Are there?
Yeah, the mantra pronunciation, there are many differences because of the Tibetan pronounce very different than Sanskrit. If you really look at Sanskrit, the Tibetan pronounce very differently. Om Vajra Sat Samaya, we don't say Vajra, we say Benza. Because I think it's the language. The way Tibetan language is, I think they cannot kind of make that sound Vajra in their written language. And if you hear same mantra in Japan, it sounds very different because of different accent, also because of different countries with the different syllables, and in certain there are certain sound which is not in, like there are certain sound the Western find very difficult, Tibetan sound, nga, nya, na, and there are certain sounds that we find very difficult from English, like like feeling. A lot of we say peeling, which is very different feeling, or ball, or vein, because in Tibetan language we don't have any language that you put this under, like that, all from here. In English you have to do that, so then we are not used to that. So then, because then it sounds different, So that is why I think there are different pronunciations. Even in Hayagriva, Shibenza Kotaya, Shibenza Totaya. There are two ways of pronouncing Kotaya, Trotaya. Also when we do the offering, Tatisava Soha, Pratisaya Soha. Some say Pratisaya Soha, some say Tatisaya Soha, Prati or Tati, Trota, Krota. So even within the Tibetans, there are different versions.
Slightly different.
Different versions.
Yes, I saw here Tadyata. or tayata.
Yeah. That would be more like Sanskrit, more closer to the root one. Tayata is more kind of Tibetan versions, I think, or pronouncings. So you can say they all are right, and once His Holiness mentions, at least I remember with the when he gave the high initiations, and he said, Shibenzo Kotai, but he said some people recite Trodaya, some Kota, and both is okay, So I think mostly whatever oral transmission you get from the teachers, you try to say the same kind of same way, but it's not like if you say Toda is incorrect or if you say Kota is incorrect. Both are correct. It just depends on from where you receive the transmissions and you try to pronounce similar to the transmissions.
Yes, but sometimes I don't hear right. I don't hear how he pronounced, or I can't do that sound. And in my mind, I think I hear something like this. And if I do it wrong, I'm afraid that they not upset to me. They pronounce wrong. And maybe there are some mantra who can rectify all this pronunciation.
No, I think I don't know in English, but in Tibetans there are some books that how to read and pronounce the mantras. There are certain books how to read and pronounce the mantras, but I don't know whether there's any in English of that. But yeah, we can. And in mantra, another thing is the most important is the faith and the devotions, the belief, more than the sound itself. Of course, the sound, the mantra has its own, power and benefit, all of that. But then, how powerful that sound has, it also depends on the person's devotions, faith, and the belief. There is stories of I think there are a few stories. There is one deity called Hevasra, Doja Pupa. Doja Pupa. Basra, what? In Tibetan is Doja Pupa, and the mantra Ombenza Kili Kili So, and then one practitioner, he heard Ombenza Chili Chili Soha, not Kili Chili Chili, and he was reciting, he did that mantra for many, many. And then he had a good result from that, And with this power to do that practice mantra, with his daggers, he can make a hole into the rocks in water. And then after some time, he met someone, and someone corrected him, Oh, it's not Benza Chili Chili, you are pronouncing incorrectly, it's Benza Kili Kili Aso. So his mind was doubt now. And now he loses his power.
Really?
Yeah. Because his mind was doubt now.
Yes, I have the same doubt. Maybe I don't pronounce.
And then he said, in the past I said, but in the past is benzochilia, also is benzochilia, like that he hit, and then again he made it whole. So basically what he's saying is when he did with full-hearted, with a total belief and devotion, he was able to do that. But when he started to have doubt, then that is when he didn't same result. There is also another story of a practitioner in Tibet, circumambulating the Potala in that area. And Dalai Lamas, I don't remember which Dalai Lama, I think 5th or 7th, but I don't remember which exactly Dalai Lama, looking from his window, people going, he look in the market, at Lhasa, from there he can see, and people going kind of circumambulating. And he saw one person's white umbrella, because he was reciting white umbrella deities mantras and practice. And the Lama saw always when that person goes, there's white umbrella on the top. I don't know whether practitioners see him or not, but the Lama can see that. And he was curious and interested. So one day he asked him to come, send someone to come and say what practice he does and what he was doing. And he explained the practice. He was a white umbrella,
Yes.
and he was reciting the mantra of white umbrella and practice. But he was pronouncing mantra wrong, not correctly. So his own Dalai Lama corrected him the right. But then again, he was not used to that new, he was so used to that, and so his mind get distracted, and his mind was kind of distracted and kind of not totally into it. And next day, Dalai Lama saw and there was no umbrella. And then he asked him to come and said to him, recite the way you used to recite. And so he started reciting the way he used to recite. And then again, he saw the white umbrella there. So there are many stories like that, in mantras. Of course, best we can pronounce correctly as well, but also the most important is the faith, the devotion, the belief. Okay, so when we do it, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have a short break.
Why you drink hot water? It's good for what?
It's good for your mind.
Why? It warm up or what?
In Tibetan medicine, I think also Chinese medicine is better to drink hot than cold. It's digestion. It help digestion better. Cold sometimes you cannot digest it, it needs a lot of power to digest. Also, when you have I have a little bit cold for a while, so
It's warm up the body also.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Because I know in that one is a little oxygen than in the cold one. In the cold one are more oxygen. In that hot one, there isn't that much oxygen.
oh yeah.
Yes, it's raised up.
Okay, now
Mai puțin oxigen, în asta e mai mult oxigen în apa rece decât în apa caldă. Și de asta întrebam să văd beneficiile.
okay.
Toți asiatici beau apă caldă. Toți asiatici.
Da, pe asta a spus și dânsul.
So yeah, okay. Any questions? So we open for the questions.
Alte întrebări. Deci,
Mircea.
state, please.
Yes, yes.
Deci sunt 21 de aspecte ale Tarai. Eu, în ignoranța mea, când nu pot să-mi dau seama dacă vreau să fac o practică, cu care să fac. Zic, Tara 18, please. Te rog, am nevoie de... Știu că fiecare are două aspecte. Unul pacifist și unul mai mânios. Cum îmi aleg eu din toate astea, aspectele astea și cum o identific?
So there are 21 aspects of Tara, and honestly, they all cater to different needs and different kinds of obstacles. Now, how do we know which one to choose when we're facing difficulties and which one to pray to?
Mm-hmm. For one, when we study that, we know which different taras are manifesting for different obstacles, for different things. If we know, then we know what obstacle we are going through, and then through that we can rely on that particular tara. Did you get it? I don't know. Like, if I'm having a problem with poisonous, then, or if I'm a nightmare, the different taras, or if I'm a poverty, different taras that we just study among different taras activities.
E bine să le studiem pentru a ști care este mai eficientă pentru fiecare obstacol și în momentul în care știm ce obstacol avem, asta e foarte important, să știm obstacolul pe care îl avem, să direcționăm rugăciunile către starea respectivă. Dacă sunt, Geshe l-a dat exemplu, otrava sau bolile sau sărăcia, da, dificultățile pe plan financiar și așa mai departe. De aceea, în rugăciunile acestea pe care le-am făcut, fiecare are aspecte proprii.
Or, if we find too complicating, then you can recite the whole 21 tara, and then just do the main green tara, and that could also include all of that.
Și din toate, că aici sunt multe tara pe perete, nu? Doar două.
Și în spatele lui Geshe, acolo sunt cele 21 de aspecte.
Și în spate.
And then there is doi here.
Why in the past, or even today, the women are not... that's this difference in the men and women in illumination. Why is this different? Why a man can illuminate faster than a woman or something like that? Why Tara? Why the monks near Tara? You said the story. They advise her to practice for male body. And why male body? Why it's easier in male body? What is it?
No. You can say, in the women has less opportunity in the past because of the societies. Even now, many religions doesn't allow women priests. So women.
Why they not? Why they are not allowed?
I don't know. Different religions might have different views, and not only religious, non-religious also even secular. Women didn't have same right like men had. What I heard is women had right to vote only like 40 or 50 years ago. Before that, they didn't have right to vote.
Yes. Also, all the great kings were male, not female. None.
So one of the theory I think I heard from his own Dalai Lama was that in the past, for the survival of the families and communities, you have to hunt. And the man is the one who used to go hunt, and women are the one who stay home taking care of the children, and the men are the who go and hunt. And so to hunt, you need a physically more stronger,
More vitality.
Yeah, more vitality, and that is how it. So that we start with that kind of evolutions, and so that keep on continuing. Even though a lot of things have changed, now it's not just physical; it's also mental, mind, and therefore His Holiness Dalai Lama mentions now the modern time, the way the families run or the countries or society is more mind than the physical. And so he said women could be the best leaders because they have more compassion generally, biologically. Biologically because women are the one who's kind of carry the child, and because of that biologically they have more sense of understanding and compassion toward the child and other beings. And so therefore he said, now it has to be reversed. So again, that I think there is some. I think there is something that, because I think before that is how it started, and then it just keep on following that. A lot of time it's like that, it's just we used to do like that, so we do that way. Okay. And so you are asking about the Sambhava Kaya and Nirvana Kaya, yeah?
Yes, the differences, because I'm confused many times.
When you talk about 4 kayas or 3 kayas, you see in the prayers, scriptures, sometimes 4 kayas, sometimes 3 kayas, and sometimes 2 kayas. When you talk about 2 kayas, then is Rupa Kaya and Dharma Kaya and Rupa Kaya. So those are the 2.
This is the bodies?
We translate body, but it's not physical bodies. Okay, Dharmakaya is not a physical body, even though we say body, but it's not a physical body. Rupakaya is the physical body. Rup or Rupa means the physical, So Dharmakaya is the Buddha's enlightened mind and the emptiness of the enlightened mind. That is the Dharmakaya. That Dharmakaya then manifests into a form, physical form. That is the Rupakaya. That enlightened mind, Dharmakaya, manifests in the Rupakaya to help and benefit, because the Buddha's Dharmakaya cannot be experienced by the sentient beings. Only they can experience among themselves.
Yes, we can't see it.
You can't see it. So to help the sentient beings, then that Dharmakaya manifests in the form where sentient beings can see and receive the teachings and all of that. So Rupakaya, then when you expand, then there are 2 within the form body, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. There are 2 physical form bodies, Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya. Sambhogakaya is that only the high level of bodhisattvas can see and receive the teachings, and ordinary being cannot see. So Sambhogakaya are the one who has all the enlightened marks, not like ordinary. They don't look like ordinary beings,
With jewels and crown.
Crown, and not only that, with all the enlightened marks, all the chakras and all other things. There is 32 major and 80 minor enlightened mark and signs. And so with all of that, that is the Sambhogakaya. Then those Sambhogakaya can be experienced or see and receive teaching only by the highly bodhisattvas. Then in order to help and benefit the ordinary sentient beings who cannot have that ability to see, then it manifests as a Nirmanakaya, where even ordinary being can see and receive. So Buddha Shakyamuni is Nirmanakaya form, where everyone in the world at that time could see him and can interact with him, receive the teaching from him. So that is the Nirmanakaya.
Without jewels, without crown.
Yeah, in normally painting arts like that, Nirmanakaya doesn't have all the jewels and the crown, all of that. Sambhogakaya has that. So that is, yeah. Did that clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
Am o întrebare. Deci, eu am înțeles că cine decide sexul nostru? Că suntem femei sau bărbați? Eu am înțeles, deci asta e întrebarea. Înțeles că atunci când venim, fie în corul de femeie, fie în corul de bărbat, avem niște lecții de învățat. Este așa? Și care sunt lecțiile?
So the question is, who decides what our gender is when we are born? So who decides what our gender is when we are born, whether we're male or female? And if we're taking a particular gender for this particular rebirth, is it because we need to learn a specific lesson?
Our karma and external conditions. Two things, karma and external conditions. Those two things will decide or affect what kind of gender you have. Male, females, and in Buddhism, we don't really, for ordinary beings, that we don't have this choice that I come to accomplish something or like that. Mostly is depending on what kind of karma we have created. Of course, for the high realized beings, bodhisattvas, Buddhas, then they have the choice whether they want to come in particular gender, or in particular place, particular families. They have choice. I want to come in this country, this place, these families, and this these genders. So for them, they know whatever they see more helpful, beneficial, then they will choose that, and they come in that to help and for the whatever needs or benefits are. But most ordinary sentient beings, then you are born according to where the wind of your karma blow.
Is there someone who keeps track of all these karmic winds and whatnot?
I'm keeping. Tell her she have to behave. I'm keeping the track. No, there is no one who keeps track, but the karma seeds are carried by your consciousness. So you want to ask those questions?
Yeah, 3 questions from
Mm.
meditation. One by one.
Okay, so question number 1. People who are interested in Buddhism but who are not Buddhists yet, what should they do at first? What are the main concepts they should learn and keep in mind?
I think one of the main concepts they can learn in studies from Buddhism that can be helpful is about loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta mind, and the practice of the 6 perfections: generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyous effort in virtues, meditative concentrations. So I think those are the things that they can, basic human value, we can say. What Dalai Lama sometimes will say, secular ethic or basic human values, that you, without having to believe in any religions, or you can be in any religions, but still you can practice all of this. You don't have to change your religions. You don't have to give up your religions to integrate those meditation, those practice that can be very helpful and beneficial in your life, and in which you can, through that you can also positively impact your family, friends, and the world that we live in. So I think those are the first, I think, maybe thing, something that one can focus more on that, and most like a practice that is more common to a different spiritual path, practice that is be also kind of adapted by the also secular world, a secular practitioner, non-believers. I think those are the things that one can kind of focus and can be helpful. And then slowly maybe maybe meditations and practice on impermanent, for example, the nature of impermanent, especially death impermanent, and then also intermodal wisdom, then dependent arisings, studying, learning about dependent arisings. So I think those can be helpful and beneficial for the beginners.
So the second question is quite related. Supposing that a person wants to go for refuge but does not have any qualified master around, nor the possibility to reach one, how should they approach this?
I think if they cannot find a qualified teachers to take a refuge from, maybe now with the modern technologies, maybe they can reach out through online, and maybe possible of receiving from online. At the very beginning, of course, it's much better if in person when there is opportunity, but not then from online there is possible, and even there is not possible also, one way, like in online there are refuge ceremony, probably from His Holiness Dalai Lama, Kapil Lama Sobat Rinpoche, and others qualified many teachers. That could be another way of doing it. It's not the most ideal, but still is a way of. And then again, refuge mainly is most important. True refuge is from your side. If you have the strong, unshakable, unmovable, unshakable, faith, trust, confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and if you take them as your refuge in order to free from the samsara and cause of samsara from your heart, then that is refuge. Whether someone come and give you refuge ceremony or not, you have refuge. Of course, it would be nice to someone to get that refuge from someone to have that ceremony. But even you don't have that ceremony, if you have that that faith, trust, confidence from your side, that is the real refuge. And teachers comes and lead through that ceremony, and from your side, if you don't have that, then there is no true refuge. It's no real refuge, So in a way, true refuge doesn't have to depend on someone to give you a refuge ceremony. It is nice and good to have, but yeah.
Okay, so the third question is interesting. It says project proposal. Sometimes it happens that people really need Dharma advice and there is no one available to answer. From this person's own experience, this can cause enormous stress and pressure upon the mind because there's no one who can answer you. Could we imagine a system in which people send a question and receive an answer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone has to, if someone starts such a project, they have to reach out to different teachers all over the world, and if the teachers accept, and if there's a way they can send out questions, I don't think one or two teachers can do that because that will be overwhelmed by too many questions. Everyone is busy. Most teachers are busy themselves with their students and taking care of other people's student questions and all of that. So that will be too much to take on. But if there is enough teachers, who help or who accept to participate and help, then whoever's people who run these projects, if they send one questions or once a while to others that the teachers can reply and answer, but where they are not overwhelmed by too many questions, then is possible and is a nice and it's good. It's a good.
It sounds like you need a Twitter account.
Yeah, also depends. I don't know how many teachers does use a Twitter account, or even social medias. I don't use Twitter, Instagram, any of those social media. So, yeah. So, any other questions?
Practice now.
Yeah. So when you do the Tara practice here, I think you have, but again, all the practice is same. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. It's too long. I don't have time, because that is a lot of time. we feel. You don't have to do everything is here, you know. For example, you can do the refuge and then 4 invisible, you know. And then there is the 7-limb practice. 7-limb practice, if you have time, you can do it. If you don't have time, you can do a very brief 7-limb practice, like 7 lines. Sometimes you have this 1 line to each of 7 limbs, you know. So you can do that, you know. And then you can do the 21 Tara praises 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever times, you know, 1 time, 3 times, 7 times. And then you can do the little bit of the mantras, you know. If you can do 1 mala, it's good. If not, 21 times, 7 times. And then you can do the dedications, you know. So again, and if you don't have even time that, you can even do just refuge and bodhicitta and then 21 Tara and then do some mantras, you know. You can do 21 Tara 1 time and then you do the mantras. So it can be extensive, long, it can be shorter, but it can be very short. And if you don't have even time to do the 21 Taras, you can even do the mantras, you know.
Refuge, bodhicitta, and mantra.
Yeah, you can think the Tara and then visualize the Tara and then do the mantras, you know. What I find is in the West, they see practice like this and then they say, oh, I don't have time, and they don't do anything, you know, because they feel like if I don't do all of this, then I'm not doing correctly, you know, because Dharma is quite new to new places, and so they don't know how this can be practiced in so many different ways, you know. It's not only it's compiled here or in some other sadhanas. There are so many different sadhanas. There are so many different, very extensive sadhanas, and then medium and very short and extremely short and like that, you know. So you can adjust all of that according to your time, your needs, you know. And so it's always, instead of not doing the whole things and not do anything, it's better to do even if it's just the mantras, you know. And of course, if you can do while you are sitting and a really proper visualization, that is great. Even if you cannot do that, you can recite while you are driving, you know. While you are in car, in a train, and if you feel uncomfortable, and because if you start reciting, other people look strangely at you, you can recite in your mind, you know. You can recite in your mind, you know, prayers, mantras. You can also recite in your, and especially those mantras is good if you have animals, to recite to them. You recite for them, you also recite yourself, and also to the animals, where the animal can hear that. They get some good imprint.
Tara.
Yeah, Tara, any Buddha's mantras, Tara mantras, you know, Om Mani Padme Hum, you know, Vajrasattavas, you know, medicine Buddhas, you know, all different, So again, I just wanted to kind of mention that, because it's wonderful if we can do all this practice. I think it's nice, wonderful, but also you can shorten, okay, when you don't have time. No. So then, since George asked the oral transmission, so I'm going to do the oral transmissions. Okay. Sangye joda zogi sonam la, changyo badu dane kapam che, ndagi jinso kebe sonam ki, dowa penche sangye dupa sho, sangye chodang sogi sonam la, changyo badu dane kapam che, ndagi jinso kebe sonam ki, dowa penche sangye dupa. Sangye chodang sogi sonam la, changyo badu dane kapam che, ndagi jinso kebe sonam ki, dowa penche sangye dupa sho. So oral transmission is just listening. And listening the sound, the word. You don't really have to understand each of them in the oral transmissions. Yeah. Poda lai nejo ne tame jango le doje obame ke ula ke tuzo sanke tilema doma koje she so lada lame joben ke shage pema la khumba khule doje doma yum la cha lo Om jen zun ma pama doma la cha lo. Cha zo doma ni ma pa ma jene ke jen lo dan da ma jide sunga choge sha ke se cha wa la ne jo. Cha zo dong ke da wa kun do ka wa kya ne che be sha. Ka ma dong da so ba nam ke ra do che we wa ra ba ma cha zo sen go chu ne ke pe me cha ne na ba ke. Je ba zun do ga do she wa so ba sum de che ni ma cha zo de shi sha be zo do ta ye na ba ke ba cha. 말루바르 침바토베 게베스게 신도데마 찾아 뚜다라이 홍 도다 초다나 뭐가 지내 손보 샤게 내데 루아메 바고바 누에마 찾아 게제메라 창바 롱라 나서 온주체마 주보로라 대산남다 노진 속에 두는데 찾아 다시 찾아 베게 바로 저거랍도 좀마 에금 인장 샤게 내데 메바토 버신도바 찾아 또레 집아쳔보 뇌게 빠왔나 봐죠 주게선에 통역된 더 탐전 말했어요 찾아 군저 숨지 차게 소마토가 넘바게 말이 속에 그게 랑게 어디 손으로 찾아라도 가와지베 오게 당와베 샤바랍샤 또다라 누다지데 온데제 찾아 사실 경에 초나 탐저 고반노 바니에 마 토냐 요에 이게 홍게 홍바 탐전 남아도 찾아 다외 넘보 우 개바듬 제신도 바마 라바 토바 오바 메레 따바 신도 와라제 찾아 가바타메 뭐요 참 운안네 마 에강 윤금 그네 고게 다이 뽕네 나바죠 찾아 사실 몰라차 되게 늦지 샤비도 마 통에 전체 이게 홍게 뭐도 못 남는 게 찾아 되면 신 양에 대시 주인이 소 온다 양다 된베 디와신 보죠 뭐니 찾아 끝내 거라 가we 다이 루네 나바게 마 이게 주변 안에 거베 리방을 되더만이 마 찾아 뚜레샤는다 홍게 남에 사베니 라베다라다 베제 지데소나 요아니 마 찾아라이 손나베 리다다자 차나나 마 다이제 페기 두나마 네발레세마 찾아라이 손은가보 하다미야제 데마 끝내 거자가 이제 저다 밀라니마세마 찾아니마 나와게 베 진이 볼라라세마 하니제 두다라 신도 타고드네세 찾아야 뉴스나 거베 시외도다양다데마 두다라라는 좀 자마도레라조니에마 자용하게 도바데다 찾아와는 뉴스자지 Dare Dudare Duri so you can repeat Dare Dudare Duri so Dare Dudare Duri so Dare Dudare Duri so okay Kawade Nido da Zuda Madu Yone Doachi Yamade De Sala Kweba show. If you don't have a caution, then we can do a short practice here. So again, you can visualize green Tara surrounded by all the 21 Tara. You can just try to feel they are here in present, And we can also think all sentient beings with us, and especially who need help, We can think of them and all other sentient beings, and doing the practice together. Sangye chodan soge sonam la chanchu padu dane kyapso che dage jin soge be sonamge dola penje sangye do pa sho. Sangye chodan soge sonam la chanchu padu dane kyapso che dage jin soge be sonamge dola penje sangye do pa sho. Sangye chodan soge sonam la chanchu padu dane kyapso che dage jin soge be sonamge dola penje sangye do pa sho. So then for immiscible, okay, samje tamje dewa dan dewe gyu dan denpa gyu ji samje tamje dunga dan dunga ge gyu dan tawa gyu samje tamje dunga mebe dewa dan me jawa gyu samje tamje nyerin cha dan nye dan dewe ta nyam la neba gyu. So we take few moments, think, feel, may all sentient beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and cause of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from happiness that is free from suffering. And may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and hatred. So then we do the invocations. Boda laye ne jo ne tamye jango le jo she tamye wege do wa do ma ko je she so. Then we do the 7 ling. Jejo pa ma do ma da chojo du so sho pa ye jawa se je tam je la kune dang we cha ge me do du bo man me te she se ro mo la so ba mo shang ye ge tu ne pa be so nam she so. We can visualize and imagine offering. All the offering is arranged here, actually arranged, and also we can visualize mentally the whole space filled with the offering of drinking water, washing water, all kind of flower, incense, all kind of light, perfume, every kind of food, drinks, and the music. And all the auspicious substance, auspicious signs, all the precious minerals, stones. And so we can imagine all these offerings are in essence is the exalted wisdom manifesting in the form of nectar and in the aspect of those different offerings. And we make offering to the Mother Tara. all the 21 Mother Tara who are inseparable from our Guru and who are embodiment of all the Buddha's enlightened activities. So in essence, they are all the Buddha. And we make the offering. Imagine, visualize Mother Tara delightfully accept those offerings on the behalf for us to create merit, giving us option to create the merit, and experiencing great bliss and voidness. Okay, so we go to the next. Toma mebe tata bo mike. Did you get it? Page number 3, at the very beginning. Toma mene tata ba mike judan seme ga semne nyemo onkyo be dikba tamje soso sha nyedo range changjo sem soso gewo laso be dusum gyawa chiksa ba sonam la ne daira. So again we take few moments to meditate on rejoicing. We rejoice to the virtues of all the Buddhas. And the virtues of all the Bodhisattvas on the path and bhumis. And rejoice the virtues of all the Arhat and those who are on the path to Arhat. And also we rejoice on the virtues of all the ordinary beings. And rejoice in the virtue of ourselves. Okay, so then the last one in page number 3. Samje namje sambada loye che da che da wa che jong tomo te bai che je kolo kordo so ko wa je se ma don wa nyang me da tu che ye dong a gya so chen wa Samje namla sekso so dage sonan chiksa ba tamje changjo yo ne rimbo meto dowa tembe paldo da yo chi om je zu ma pama do ma la cha cha lo cha za do ma nyu ma pa mo chene geshe lo dan da ma jigden sumgo choge shage kesa jawa la ne choma chaza dongge dawa kwendo kawa gyane tsebe sha kama tonda choba namge rabdo chewe we raba ma chaja semo chune ke peme chane namba ge ma jiba sundo kado shewa soba sunde choye nye ma taye namba gyama cho ma malu paro chaza deshe shape tso do taye namba gyawa ma malu paro chimba to be gyawe seke shendo de ma chaza duda raye huyengi duda choda namka kam jigden dumbo shabne ne de luba meba guba numa chaza gyaje me la tsamba lungla na cho onchu chuma jumbo rola tisa namda nujen choge dune dema chaza taji cheta peke paro tuko rabdu jom ekum enkyang shakye ne de meba tukba shendo ba chaza dure jikba chenbo nuge pao namba jom chuge shane tonye de dawa tamje male sema chaza kunjo sumchen chage semo toka namba ge Malu choke kolo gembe, range weke sona droma. Chaza rabdo gawa jibe, ugen weke tenwa pe. Sheba rabshe tutarai, duda jide ondo zema. Chaza sheshe kyonwe sona, tamche guba nuba nyema. Chonya yoe ike honke, pongpa tamche namba drom. Chaza dawe dombo ugen, yamba tamche shendo ba. Rave chona opa mele, takwa shendo verapa. Satnave tame me da, barwe tengwa una ne. Ejan yungon kone ko gae, dae pone namba jom. Chasa sashe ngola chage, tege nunje shabye dom. Tonye chenze ige honge, rimba dumbo namne gem. Chaza dema gema shema, nyange deshe chunye. So omda iga tembe, digba chenpo chomba nye. Chaza kone kora kawe, daye lune namba ge. Ige chube ngane kobe, rigba hungle doma nye. Chaza dure shabden dabe, hunge nambe sabe nye. Hira menda rada beje, jigden sumnam yowanye. Chaza lae choye nambe, rida tajen chana nam. Tara Ziua pege ege, duna malu pane se. Chaza lae sonan gyabo, lada mian che dem. Kune gocha gawe jeke, tsuda milan nyama sem. Chaza nima dawa gebe, kenye pole wera sem. Hara nyejo tudaraye, shindo taberine sem. Chaza denye sona kobe, shive tudayanda dem. Dunda rola noche sonam, jambaru de tapsho nyim. Tsewe ngake toba de, chaza wane nyesho saji. So, you can visualize from the thumb letter at the heart of the center, green Tara, and surrounded Om Tare Tu Tare Ture so mantras, standing, and all the mantra like in the transcendental, clear. And those, the syllables, the mantras, and the sound are not just ordinary sound and letter, but they are actually exalted, enlightened wisdom and wisdom activities in nature, in essence, but in the form of that letter and sound. As we recite, then you can visualize from the the syllable and the garlands of mantra at the green Tara and all 21 Tara. Light and nectar flow, white light nectar flow into oneself and all sentient beings, and cleansing and purifying whatever obstacles, whatever illness, obstacles, problem, suffering, as well as the cause of all the suffering, all the negative karma, delusions and obscurations. Like taking shower, cleansing and purifying all of them. And also we think that the nectar and light are again not just ordinary light and nectar, they are actually exalted, enlightened wisdom, but in the form of nectar and light. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. 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 Om 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 Tare Tu Om Dhatu Som Dhatu. Om Dhatu Som Dhatu. Om Dhatu Som Dhatu. Om Dhatu So. Om Tare Tu Dare Dure So. So visualize with total convictions all the illness, sickness, all the obstacles, problems, sufferings, completely cleansed, purified, healed of oneself and all sentient beings. Also all the negative karma, all the delusions, completely cleansed, purified, all the obscurations. And oneself, all sentient being, become like crystal clear without any trace of any negativities. As we recite a little bit more, we can visualize yellow, orange, light and nectar flow into oneself, all sentient beings, feeling our whole body, and receiving the blessing of enlightened body, speech and the mind. Also receiving all the spiritual realizations and all the power activities to overcome all the obstacles, problems, sufferings. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. 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 So we can think and visualize that we receive all the blessing of Mother Tara's enlightened body, speech and mind, all the spiritual realizations, and all the power activities to be greatest benefit to all sentient beings, to clear all their obstacles, problems, suffering, cause of suffering. Okay, so then we do the dedication. Yewadi nyodo da pama doma do gyone doa chi jam malupa te sem joren boche ma ke pa na ke kyu che ke wa nyam ba me ba ya kon le kon to pe wa. Okay, I think
Fiecare prețioasă conștiință fericită, în care se află în mine, născută încă să răsare și să crească, fie cea născută să nu fie și să crească pentru totdeauna. În aceste rânduri, conjurat de munți de zăpadă, sursa completei fericirii și a beneficiilor, prea puternică apărătă și valea trezim viață, te rugăm să rămâi până la sfârșitul samsarei. Mântuitor al învățăturilor de lumii de zăpadă și mântuitor al ființelor migratoare, care ai făcut extrem de clară calea împlinirii de vacuitate și compasiune, păstrător al locului, te țin viață, te implor, că ca toate dorințele tale să se îndeplinească de îndată. Fie ca viețile glorioși și oricului să fie buni și stabile, fie ca toate nenumăratele ființe să fie fericite, fie ca eu și toți ceilalți, fără de excepție, să acumulăm merite și să ne purificăm negativitățile și fie ca să fim binecuvântați să atingem la iluminare. Din cele două colecții ale mele, vaste precum spațiul pe care l-am acumulat în grafica muncii mele și a efortului susținut vreme îndelungată, fie ca să devin principalul lider Buddha pentru toți cei care minte înțeleaptă și stăruite de ignoranță. Dacă nu voi atinge acest nivel, fie ca să fiu susținut în toate viețile mele de către manjușii cu iubirea sa plină de compasiune, pentru a găsi învățătura completă a cele mai bune căi actuale, iar eu, în practica mea, să-i mulțumesc pe toți budași. Utilizând mijloace ispăsite, extrase din puternica forța compasiunii, fie ca să curăț întunericul din mințile tuturor ființelor, prin ideile care mi-au fost revelate pe care, fie ca eu să susțin învățătura lui Buddha vreme îndelungată. Fie ca prin marea compasiune care să lășluiește în inima mea, să extind prețioasa învățătură în toate direcțiile unde aceasta nu a fost predată sau în locul în care a degenerat. Fie ca să dezvăluie această comoară de fericire și protecție tuturor. Fie ca mințile celor care își doresc eliberarea să fie într-o pace de plină și fie ca faptele budașilor să ne fie exemplu de urmat multă vreme, în special această cale graduală către eliminarea de plină obținută datorită minunatei conducte virtuoase a budașilor și copiilor acestora. Fie ca toți oamenii și toate celelalte ființe care și-au eliminat adversitățile și și-au creat condiții favorabile pentru a practica excelentele căi, să nu fie niciodată separate niciuna de vieți de slăvita cale pura budașilor. Fie ca oricine depune efort să acționeze în concordanță cu practicile virtuoase ale și celor 10 conducte Mahayana, să fie în permanență asistare către cei măreți și fie ca oceanul prosperității să se reverse asupra lor. Fie ca învățăturile de Buddha și ale Amunii și ale Vicețul în capa să fie învăitoare, fie ca obstacolele să fie pacificate, fie ca toate circumstanțele favorabile să fie complete. Prin obținerea acestor două acumulări de către mine și de către toți ceilalți de-a lungul celor 3 timpuri, fie ca învățăturile amintitorului lui Buddha și ale Amunii să se lucească de vecie.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.